This in particular is going to look at a box and whisker plot, which is also known as a box plot. So a couple things that I want to reiterate in terms of refreshing understanding, if it's been a while that since you have seen box plots, the line at the end or the left side of our box is always our minimum. On the right end, this is our maximum. And the distance in between these is considered the range. So the range is going to be the max minus the min. So that's one statistical piece of data that we can find using box and whisker or box plots. The box in and of itself, the whole entire piece of it, is called the interquartile range, which means it's the part from 26th percentile up to 50 and 51st percentile up to the 75th. So it's showing the middle portions of what we're looking at. If we want to go into more detail on that, this is our first quartile, our second quartile, our third quartile, and our fourth quartile. So it's how the data is split or spread represented between that. And again, that second and third quartile make up the interquartile, which is represented in that box. And then the final piece of information I want you ready for is this line right here. And this represents our median, which means it is the exact middle value of all of the values represented in our data. Now, we don't necessarily know how many numbers we have. We don't know the distribution of those numbers within here other than what we're seeing within the interquartiles or each individual quartile. One of the things that the test writers want us to confuse when it comes to box plots is mean. And mean or our average is not something we can ever determine with a box plot. So I am going to immediately eliminate answer choice A and answer choice B because I will never have enough data to determine what is going on with my mean. So that brings me down to C and D, which is comparing my median, which I do clearly have in both of these. So I've got median for number one coming in here somewhere around 16, give or take. And then I've got median number two, or for group two, coming in here about 17. So I can see the comparison between those. Now let's take a look at which answer that's going to line up with. The median of height of group one is less than the median height of group two versus group one is greater than what we see in group two. Group two is the bigger one, so I'm going to confidently choose C and move on. Again, we don't want to spend too much time analyzing these. We need to pay attention to what our question is asking us. And notice I didn't even read the question here. I only took a look at what was happening in my answer choices to identify my task at hand. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.